Marlins finally snapped a 12-game losing streak. They make it 2 in a row tonight. Sharp money pouring in on several MLB teams. We got one of my favorite Tommy trends and Pikkit play of the day. Plus, Kyle Shanahan breaks the silence after that scary car crash. And LeBron, well, he might not even live in Philadelphia. And we'll preview tomorrow's final Rocket Classic from Detroit Golf Club. We'll get you the full betting guide. We'll preview that tonight. It's Tuesday, July 28, 2026. Let's talk some sports, find an edge, and have some fun tonight. What's happening, everybody? It's Off the Hook Sports Talk that pays off. We are powered by Pikkit. Tommy Trends, joined as always by my co-pilots Mookie and Nash. And thanks for spending part of your Tuesday evening here with us. Look, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and if you enjoy the show, smash the like button. Helps us grow the channel one show at a time. And a quick programming note, brand new football series, everything football, college and NFL. It's called Fourth and Goal here at Off the Hook, and that series is up now on our YouTube page at OTH Sports Pod. Everything football, college, NFL. The NFC West preview is up there. Last week's, actually 2 weeks ago now, we did the AFC East preview with our good buddy Dustin Sweetelson from VSiN. That's up there. Last week's NFC North preview is also up there. And this week, the AFC North is on deck. That'll drop Friday. So getting you ready for football season 1 week at a time, one division at a time. So make sure you check that out. And we're going to go high and tight like a fresh fade today. Here's what we have on tap. We'll go across the diamond, get you set up for tonight's MLB slate. And then Tommy Trend of the day, pick a play of the day, and some news from around the sports world. And like I said, we'll get you a little preview of the Rocket Classic as they are in Detroit at the Detroit Golf Club this week for the final Rocket Classic. We'll get you set up for that. But what do you say? We go across the diamond. Let's get in the batter's box and let's take a swing at this MLB slate tonight. And let's start in Pittsburgh. The D-backs are in Pittsburgh to take on the Pirates tonight. And Pirates opened as a slight favorite here, as a favorite home team, around minus 112 or so. And a couple different angles when you look at this game. So from a pitching matchup, Brandon Pfaff, look, he's been outstanding since joining the rotation. Last 5 starts, allowed just 7 runs in 27 innings, posting a 2.33 ERA. The deeper numbers, though, suggest that he may be due for some regression here as we look. So, look, he has just 14 strikeouts and 109 batters faced since returning. And then, like I said, during that stretch, his ERA 2.33 during that stretch, and his expected FIP sits at 4.34. So some of those the underlying numbers aren't quite as impressive. Now, the low walk rate that he had has helped, and he's pitching to a ton of contact. And the last time out against St. Louis, he struck out just 1 batter in 26 plate appearances. That's a concern tonight in Pittsburgh because the Pirates, they've been swinging the bats well against right-handed pitching in July. Here we go. Pirates slashing 259, 340, 417 against righties with a 335 WABA. And if you're looking at the lefty-righty splits here, left-handed hitters have given Pfaff problems all season long here. So, I don't know what the fuck is on my camera here, but lefties hitting 304 with a 507 slugging against him. And then you look at the Pirates, Bubba Chandler is getting the ball on the hill tonight for the Pirates. Season ERA sits at 4.47, but he's been, if you look lately, he's been much better than that. Allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in 5 of his last 7 starts. And coming out of the All-Star break through 6 1/3 scoreless innings at Yankee Stadium, just 1 walk, striking out 5. So, but the biggest concern with Bubba Chandler has been the walks. Now, Arizona isn't a lineup that works a lot of pitchers deep into counts. So this is actually a pretty favorable matchup for Big Bubba Chandler. Look, if Chandler can get the Pirates through 5 or 6 innings, the Pirates bullpen is in good shape with just about everyone available tonight. So Pirates money line is what we like tonight. Hey, listen, if you're just joining in here, this replay, if you're catching replay before first pitch, you're not late. The card is still alive. We got 10 games on the slate tonight that we're going to go over, so just keep that in mind if you're catching the replay or just tuning in. Like I said, 10 games tonight. So we do like the Pirates money line in the first one. That's a 6:40 first pitch in Pittsburgh. All right, let's head to South Florida. Another 6:40 pitch. Phillies and Marlins. Now, we were on here yesterday. We said fade Wheeler, under 7.5 strikeouts. Zach Cash, we said, hey, if you're feeling spicy, which we were, we did take the Marlins money line last night. They get it done, winning 8-7 and a nail biter. And now I also said I like the under run total just because Wheeler was pitching, but that didn't cash. But Marlins still finally end the 12-game losing streak, which is a franchise record. So let's look at the matchup tonight, and not looking good for the Phils if you're a Phillies fan. Aaron Nola on the bump tonight for the Phillies. Look, Aaron Nola, struggle bus all season long for this cat. 5.82 ERA, 2.1 home runs per 9, and 3 walks per 9. And look, away from Citizens Bank Park, Nola is not getting much help at all. Phillies ranked 27th in the majors in road scoring, 3.9 runs per game. On the flip side, for the Fish, Sandy Alcantara, look, he's quietly put together a pretty solid season when you look at it, even though the Marlins were on this 12-game slide recently. But Alcantara, he owns a 4.01 ERA, just 1.1 homers per 9 innings, and 2.4 walks per 9. So if you look here, I mean, it's clear that Miami is going to come in as a much bigger favorite in the current market. If you look at some of these projection models, they're projecting somewhere around 8.5, 8.6 total runs, which is right around the current number. But look, I'm liking the Marlins to run it back tonight. Marlins money line, that's the official play there. Nola's just been putrid all year, so not favoring the Phillies there tonight. I think Marlins could maybe Marlins put a 12-game win streak. Maybe they flipped a script and lose 12 in a row, and then they come back and win 12 straight. Who knows? That's baseball. But all right, let's go to our nation's capital here. Blue Jays and Nationals, 6:45 first pitch, and I looked at this, and I don't know. It's hard to look at a side. For me, it was kind of looking at the total here. Now, one thing to note. There are some storms rolling here through the Northeast. We just had a pretty wicked storm roll through here, which is why I kind of held off. It's going to be on here at 5, and then I pushed a little bit because didn't want to lose power, because that seems to be the trend here during storms, losing fucking power. The Braves-Mets game, that is postponed tonight, so we'll keep an eye on this Blue Jays-Nats game. I think that might be in the clear. Let me just double-check to make sure that has not been postponed here. Nope, that is not. So that's still on deck. 6:45 first pitch down there in Nationals Park. So looking at this, I do like the over, which is sitting at 9. Like Shane Bieber, he's on the hill for Toronto. Hasn't looked like the Shane Bieber that we normally are used to seeing. 4.7 ERA, 5.82 FIP, and allowing 2.1 homers per 9, 3.5 walks per 9. And then the Nationals are going to counter that with Cade Cavalli. And even though Cavalli's pitched pretty well, he does have a 3.58 ERA, 3.12 FIP, averaging 10.3 strikeouts per 9, and allowing less than 1 homer per 9. So, all right, well, just saying, Tommy, why do you like the over? Well, here we go. Look, once Cavalli leaves the game, Washington has had one of the worst bullpens in the majors. They rank 28th in ERA, 5.01. So, look, if you look at some of these models and trends, you can see it's trending over 9 runs, so there's still a slight edge to the over. And like I said, Bieber is just trash. And if the Blue Jays can get to Cavalli early, or if he gets bounced, That Nats bullpen is pretty vulnerable with their ERA north of 5. So I do like the over as the play there. We'll have to keep an eye and see, make sure that game does go off. But as of right now, still on track to get started at 6:45. All right, let's go to Chicago. Yankees taking on the White Sox, 7:40 Eastern, first pitch there in Chicago. And Yankees are coming in as a road favorite, sitting somewhere around minus 130 is the line, give or take whatever book you're using. Total sitting somewhere around 8 for that game in Chicago there with the Yankees and the White Sox. And look, now, Cody Bellinger, obviously, he's out. Judge is out. Who the fuck knows what Stanton, is he coming back? Who the fuck knows? But the Yankees are all banged up. So the Yankees scored 9 runs last night. They're still missing big bats in their lineup. Now, Garrett Cole is on the hill tonight for the Yankees. He's starting to look like the Garrett Cole that we're used to seeing here over his last 3 starts. 3.36 ERA, a 33.7% strikeout rate, and just a 2.1% walk rate. And he was pretty dominant against my Dodgers when he pitched. Just 2 runs over 6 innings, 8 strikeouts, and only 1 walk. All right, so let's flip to the other side and look at the White Sox here. Chicago dropped 3 of its last 4, and Anthony Kay gets the ball tonight for the Sox. Now, overall numbers won't jump off the page when you look at it, but recent form and the recency bias, the eye test, whatever you want to say, it has been pretty solid. 2 earned runs or fewer in 5 of his last 6 starts, and he's been a completely different pitcher at home. A 3.06 ERA at home compared to a 5.56 ERA on the road. So, here's the angle that I'm looking at this from. The Yankees obviously missing Judge, Bellinger, and then if you look at the White Sox, Kay's been pitching his best baseball at home. Look, if he can give the White Sox 5 or 6 quality innings, the White Sox bullpen is in pretty good shape. Grant Taylor, he didn't pitch last night. He owns a 2.25 expected ERA, an outstanding 34.9. So we'll just say 35% strikeout rate. And look, the White Sox, surprisingly, they have one of the best bullpen arms available tonight. And the White Sox are a pretty big surprise this year. No one thought they'd be doing as well as they are. So if you put that all in a blender, shake it up, spit it out, you get Garrett Cole throwing the ball well. A depleted Yankees lineup that is struggling to score runs. Anthony Kay pitching better at home. A rested White Sox bullpen trending toward a lower scoring game. I say Yankees, White Sox under 8 runs tonight for the play. And we'll stay in the 7:40 window, head north to Minnesota. Now, this is pretty strong sharp money signals on the board here for this game. Not a sexy matchup. Royals and Twins at 7:40 is the first pitch. Now, the Twins open somewhere around a minus 160 favorite. I think that number has gone up to 175-ish. One book is 176. I mean, it's crazy money backing the Twins. Whether you look at it from a public or a national book like DraftKings or a sharp book like Circa, look, so DraftKings, the Twins, 87% of the bets and 92% of the handle there. Circa 80% of the bets, 95% of the handle, all backing Minnesota. So, look, not only we get public money, we also get sharp money. Everything's saying Twins, which is kind of scary. But, look, if you look at the Royals, like I said, it's not a sexy matchup here. Royals, Seth Lugo getting the ball for them tonight, 4.36 ERA in the season, and he struggled lately. 5 starts in July, posted a 4.94 ERA, 15 earned runs and 27 1/3, and he's been way worse away from home. 5.40 road ERA compared to a 3.63 home ERA. And then meanwhile, the Twins are going to counter with Taj Bradley. Bradley's been pitching some of his best baseball of the season here. Minnesota 7-1 last 8 starts, and over 5 starts in July. Bradley owns a 2.90 ERA, 10 earned runs in 30 1/3, and much better at Target Field, 3.14 ERA at home versus a 4.14 on the road. So the offensive edge obviously is going to belong to the Twins here. When you break it down, they scored 511 runs this season. Kansas City just 450. And look, the Royals are just one of the worst road offensive teams in baseball. They rank last in Major League Baseball in road scoring, averaging fewer than 3.7 runs per game, and now they're playing without Bobby Witt Jr., who's on the injured list. So, another angle, if you don't like laying, it's a lot of juice, 175, 180, whatever book you're using. It's a lot of juice to lay on the Twins, and it's kind of scary when public and sharps are all over it. But instead of laying big money with Minnesota, look, maybe you play the under here. Like we said, we'll talk about, let's start with Taj Bradley as a case for the under. He's allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in 6 of his last 7 starts. And while Lugo's numbers have recently slipped, he's been solid with a 4.36 ERA, 1.1 home runs per 9. So if you look at the projection, it's somewhere closer to around 8 runs a game. And right now, let me just check and see if that total has moved here. All right, so if you like the under, Novig, under 9.5, slight juice, minus 127 to the under. So, like I said, looking at a side, it's hard to lay that huge juice to take Minnesota, even though public and the sharps are on the Twins. The total, a little less juice on Novig, under 9.5. And again, the pitching matchup kind of trends under the total there. All right, let's go to St. Louis and one of baseball's best rivalries. The Cubs-Cardinals in St. Louis, 7:45 Eastern, first pitch. Game basically sitting at a pick'em. Cubs, let me see where they're at right now. So right now, Cubs money line, minus 106 on Profit X is the best number I'm getting on Pikkit with the books that I sync there. And Cardinals home dog money here, plus 104 on Novig for that game. And again, looking at it, I kind of looked at it from a total versus a side here. The under sitting at 9, Profit X, you're looking at a number of minus 113. If you do like the over, minus 117 on Novik. But I'm thinking here, trending under. So if you look at it here, let's break it down. Cubs, Colin Ray gets the ball tonight, and this could possibly be his last start before the trade deadline. Obviously, his name flying around with trade rumors as we get closer to the August 3rd trade deadline, but this might be his last start before possibly getting moved from the Cubbies. But look at Ray. His surface numbers aren't great. So over his last 15 starts, he owns a 5.40 ERA, 5.44 FIP, and a 4.96 expected FIP, and a 6.22 expected ERA. Generated just a 7.7% strikeout minus walk rate, while 31 barrels and nearly a 12% barrel rate. His fastball's also been getting hit pretty damn hard all season. But if you peel it back a little bit, this is where it kind of gets interesting, where this matchup could work in Colin Ray's favor here. Now, if you look at the Cardinals, they have struggled offensively of late. So Cardinals lineup at home struggled. They struggled against right-handed pitching. Over the last 30 days, they struggled. Jordan Walker, Alec Burleson are really the only two hitters who have been consistently producing on offense. And in fact, look, 5 projected Cardinals. If you look at the up and down this lineup, they're just, other than Walker and Burleson, they're really not getting a lot of production elsewhere in this lineup. So Ray hasn't pitched particularly well, right? So he's also catching this struggling offense here with the Cardinals, which is, again, could be favorable in his favor. His stuff's not been the greatest, but Cardinals bats have been pretty dead outside of Walker and Burleson. And if you look at defense here, it's probably 2 of the best defensive teams in the majors. Look, Cubs have been pretty much the gold standard here at defense. They lead the majors with 39 runs prevented and 48 outs above average. Both numbers lead the majors by double digits here. And then, look, Pete Crow Armstrong, he's fucking, dude, 21 fielding run value leads all in majors. He's also getting it done on the offensive side as well. Cubs bullpen, showing signs of improvement over the last 30 days when you look. So right now they rank around the middle of the league in advanced bullpen metrics. So look, bullpen becoming more stable of late for the Cubbies. And then if you look at the Cardinals, look, Let me see this. So you get who is pitching? McGreevy is the starter for tonight. So it looks like some are saying still haven't named a starter, but what I'm seeing is Mike McGreevy is going to get the ball for the Cardinals. Now his ERA, 2.92 ERA. An expected ERA is over 5.4. Now, he does have one of the lowest strikeout rates among qualified starters and one of the slowest fastballs in baseball. And allows a shit ton of contact as well. So, I mean, there's even more regression coming in for Mike McGreevy. So, but the Cardinals can help him out with defense, and their defense ranks top 5. They're one of the top 5 defensive clubs in all the majors. J.J. Weatherholt, he's been outstanding, ranking second in the majors in fielding run value behind Pete Crow-Armstrong. And Wynn has also been excellent up the middle. Cardinals bullpen, they're quietly trying to right the ship and turn things around over the last month. ERA has dropped below 4 now, and advanced numbers are now pretty similar to the Cubs from that bullpen standpoint. So from a bullpen side, there's really not too much of an edge either side. It's pretty much equal if you look at the trends recently for both those teams. So why does the under make sense? Well, so Busch Stadium alone suppresses runs typically by about 6% or so. One of the toughest offensive environments in baseball. And the weather here isn't expected to give hitters much help. And if you look at the umpiring crew, those profiles slightly favorable to pitchers. So if you put that all in a blender, mix it up and stir it up, shake it up, whatever the fuck you want to do, I say the play tonight is under 9, and best number you're getting, at least what I'm getting with my books on Pikkit, is a minus 113 on Profit X. All right, so let's go. Late night slate of games, 9:38 Eastern, first pitch. Astros taking on the Angels in Anaheim there. So we'll go out west. This is another interesting one when you look at it. Now, this is flipped a little. The Angels were a home dog, and right now the money line is now flipped. Houston is plus 100, whereas the Angels are minus 102 on Novik. Both those numbers on Novik. But it did start out as Angels as a home dog. But let's start with the Astros here. You get Lambert on the bump. He's been pretty solid, 3.03 ERA. Underlying numbers, though, suggest that there might be regression coming with Lambert, a 4.03 FIP, and walking batters at a 3.5 batters per 9 is the walk rate there for Lambert. So it kind of seems maybe that ERA is a little misleading for him. And then the other side, Reed Detmers, he's actually pitched better than his ERA indicates. Now, his ERA, a little north of 4.05 ERA, 3.28 FIP. That paints a little bit stronger of a pitcher for Detmers. He's also striking out 10.2 batters per 9 and just 1 home run per 9. So another reason to back the Angels here. Bullpen is actually over the recent couple weeks here, they've been one of the better relief units in baseball. Since June 1st, the Angels bullpen ranks 8th in the majors with a 3.43 ERA. So look, if Detmers can hand over a lead to the bullpen, they've been getting the job done since June. So like I said, this line's flipping. Now it's minus 101. On Profit X. So line is continuing to move there. Look, Angels money line. I like that play tonight. Let's head north. Stay in California. We'll go south, actually. So, yeah, fucking geographically challenged here. We'll go a little south, continuing that southern trek here in California. We'll go Rockies, Padres, and San Diego tonight. And a couple angles here if you want to play, if you're not liking a side, if you like total. So let's look at the Padres run line here, and let's make a case for that, and then we'll talk about maybe playing the over here. Michael Lorenzen is on the hill tonight, and this dude struggled mightily all year. Look, it's just been struggle bus for this guy as well. 6.53 ERA for Lorenzen, 1.4 homers per 9, 3.5 walks per 9, and Rockies bullpen, well, they haven't been much help either. They were 26 in the majors with a 5.01 ERA. Now, let's flip to the Friars and look at the Padres side here. Michael King, his ERA has been solid, 3.24 ERA. Now, if you look at it, you might look at some of these models or trends. You might say, well, there's regression that could be coming. Averaging just 7.8 strikeouts per 9, and he does walk close to 4 batters per 9 at 3.7. But one thing stood out here. Look, this isn't the same Rockies offense that we've seen in years past with them. They are 16th in the majors in road scoring, only 4.4 runs per game away from Coors Field. Now, San Diego, still the preferred side. The Rockies could contribute enough offensively to push this game over that total, which, let me see, that's sitting right now over 8, minus 114 on Profit X. So I do, again, with Lorenzen on the bump, I do like the Padres run line, minus a run and a half. It's plus 102 on Novig. And like I said, there is a case as well for the over. So, it really depends on what you like, what you trust more. I'd say either one. I mean, it's two angles. So really you can choose a dealer's choice, so to speak, in this one. But I think both are pretty favorable. I like both to cash. Hell, fucking parlay it together. Whatever. But it seems like a solid play there. And last one on the slate for tonight. Now we'll head north and stay in California, but we'll head up to Sacramento for the second game of the Red Sox, in Sacramento to take on the former Oakland, now Sacramento A's, soon to be Vegas A's in Sutter Health Park, that bandbox of a park there in Sacramento. Pikkit play of the day yesterday was over, and that didn't cash, but typically this park does trend to the over. But again, this is another big line move for this slate of games tonight. Now, Boston, it opened somewhere around minus 145. Sharp money pushed that way up to the Red Sox at minus 150. Some books even touch minus 155. Now, it has corrected itself a little bit. Right now, I'm looking at Pikkit, and the numbers I'm getting, Novig minus 138. If I like the Sox money line, and if I want to take a flyer on the A's at plus 135 money line, that's also on Novig. And look, if you even look at the public and the sharp money, DraftKings, Red Sox taking 93% of the bets, 99% of the handle. So again, look, public and sharp money is all lining up to back the Red Sox here. Now, if you look, I mean, there's a lot to talk about and a lot to like with the Red Sox team here. Jake Bennett, he's been great all season. 5-0 in his last 5 starts, and 4 starts in July. Posted a 1.71 ERA, 5 earned runs in just 26 and a third innings. He's also been a lot better away from Fenway Park. He owns a 2.10 road ERA compared to 2.94 at home. And look, the Sox, they have a massive advantage when you look at the bullpens here. The Red Sox bullpen, best ERA in all baseball, 3.02. And the Sacramento, soon-to-be Vegas A's, they're dead last, 5.53 ERA for that bullpen. And the Sox have crushed left-handed pitching all season, 261 against lefties. That's 4th best in all the majors this season, and they're one of the best road teams in baseball as well. Boston, 30-21 on the road. The A's are just 16-29 at home. Worst home record in all baseball. So here's the other angle. If you don't want to lay the big price with Boston, which I get it, like I said, it's corrected itself a little bit. Novig minus 138, still a little bit more juice than what you'd like. But instead of laying that big tax and taking Boston, look, you could even make a case here for the home dog, A's money line at plus 135. So the argument to make that case would be, let's start with Jake Bennett. Even though we said his ERA is just 2.58, striking out 6.4 batters per 9, advanced numbers suggest regression, though. ERA, like I said, sitting at 2.58. Expected ERA could be somewhat north of 4.7. So there's some underlying metrics when you peel back some of these numbers that suggest regression coming, and he could get knocked around tonight. Now, Gage Jump, he struggled lately. He's allowed at least 4 runs in his last 5 starts, but over the course of the season, his expected numbers actually line up pretty close with his ERA. So the belief is that Jump is closer to an average major league starter than his recent results show. So one thing working against Oakland, they're without Langeliers and Nick Kurtz. So Boston has a better lineup, better bullpen. And Boston averaging 4.6 runs per game on the road, 13th in baseball. A's, though, even they have the worst home record in all the majors, they've been quietly one of the better home offenses. So they rank 7th in home scoring and nearly 5 runs per game. But that's with even with Gage Jump struggling recently, and Bennett pitched into plenty of contact. Maybe you say over there as well. Again, trends to the over. But look, if you look, there's a lot of tax on Boston to take that money line. If you like the home dog there, you think there's regression coming from Bennett. And then, look, if you look at the scoring with the Red Sox on the road, 13th best in baseball, and you expect the A's to score, just push a few runs across the plate. The over 9.5, if you like that. Now, the best number you're getting there, Kalshi, at least is what I'm getting, minus 126 if you like over 9.5. So again, under came in last night. So, all right, so you probably think this is probably going to go over tonight. So I do like the over there. So, look, again, public and sharps all over Boston money line. Look, if you can get the home dog at plus 122 or better, why not take a flyer on it? And maybe you like the over there as well. So, all right. And you know what? We do have one more. We'll stay in the Bay Area. Brewers, Giants. And so let's look at this one. The Brewers opened as a minus 135 road favorite. And again, more sharp money coming in on the Brewers here. Now, we had the Giants money line last night. They got it done last night, and seemed like it was a trap spot for the Brewers coming in there. So Giants got it done last night, and this line now, so it moved up to like minus 155, 150. Came down a little bit right now. If you do like the Brewers money line, minus 144 on Novig is the best number that I'm getting. Look, it's I mean, everyone, whether it's the public or sharp money, they're backing the Brew Crew tonight. So again, another angle to look at here, especially with the pitching matchup, would be under 7.5 here. It's minus 115 on Novik. If you like the over, Profit X minus 119, but this kind of trends under. And if you look at the Brewers from an offensive standpoint, well, they own the offensive edge. They scored 535 runs this season. Giants have scored just 439. And the Brewers on-base percentage, 336 compared to 308 for the Giants. And like we said, a case for the under, Logan Henderson gets the ball on the hill tonight for the Brewers. He's been outstanding. Brewers 6-0 in his last 6 starts, and he's also 3-0 in night games with a 2.82 ERA. And again, that's a way to make a case for the under here just because of how great Henderson has been pitching with a 3.05 ERA, a 2.88 expected ERA, and a 2.98 FIP. He's allowed more than 2 runs only once in 8 starts. And his strikeout to walk ratio, well, that's pretty damn good. 47 strikeouts, just 7 walks. Since returning to the majors on the 9th of July, Henderson has allowed just 6 runs over 15 1/3 and a 17-1 strikeout to walk ratio. And again, favorable matchup here. Giants are batting 230, 281, 429 July, and they walk only 5.9% of the time. So, look, San Francisco, I mean, Landon Roop quietly pitched better than his record suggests. He owns a 3.93 ERA, but advanced numbers are even better, a 3.36 expected ERA and a 3.31 FIP. And over the last 3 starts, Rupe has just allowed 3 runs in 21 innings and completed at least 6 innings in each outing. Now, he's been especially tough at Oracle Park. Opponents hitting just 198 against him at home and a 260 weighted on-base average there. So he's only allowed 11 extra base hits and 186 batters faced at home all season. Again, another case for the under. Both bullpens come in to tonight's game in pretty good shape, well rested. And there's also thought that the Brewers could be adjusting to the first road series since the All-Star break. And like I said, the Giants got it done last night, winning the opener there. So a quick recap of the card. We like the Pirates money line, Marlins money line. Over 9 in the Jays Nationals game, under 8 in the Yankees White Sox game, under 9 Royals and Twins game, under 9 Cubs Cardinals, Angels money line tonight in Anaheim. There's a toss up here. Rockies Padres game, Padres run line -1.5 runs, or over the 8 as well. Sox and A's, a couple sides here. Look, sharp side is and the public side is all over the Red Sox money line. A lot of juice though, but you're getting some value with the home dog. Right now it's plus 135 on Novak. So there's also a case, especially for the over 9.5, with the way that park plays and the trends to the over this season at that park. So, and the final one here: Brewers Giants. Brewers money line, but you're paying a little heavy tax on that -144 right now. But under 7.5, we made a strong case for that as well. So those are the plays, the games that stood out on tonight's slate. And let's get you to the Tommy Trend of the day, and we're going to head back to South Florida for this Tommy Trend of the day. And we said it when we broke down the Phillies Marlins game. Now the Marlins finally snapping that 12-game losing streak last night, and not looking much better for the Phillies with Nola getting the ball tonight. The Phillies are just 5-13 in road division games with Nola. And look, when they're -110 or shorter on the money line, that's also helping or leading to that 5-13 record. So 5-13 in road division games when the money line is -110 or shorter. So that has you fading the Phils tonight. And there's a second trend with that. Sandy Alcantara starts at home against teams with a winning record. The under has gone 30-17-2, and that's since the start of the 2020 season. So not only fade the Phils tonight, the trend's also pointing to the under. But for me, I think the Marlins get 2 in a row tonight. And, look, they got the monkey off their back last night. Alcantara on the mound. Nola's just been complete trash. I think they make it 2 in a row tonight. And that leads us to the official Pikkit play of the day, which, again, set it up for you. We teed it up. Marlins money line is what we like tonight as the official Pikkit play of the day. Need we say more on that game? But listen, if you're not using Pikkit, you got to get that Pikkit app, Google Play Store or the App Store. When you sync your book and set up your account, put in code OTH. Come have fun with us on Pikkit. Track your friends, your bets, line movements, all in one place with the Pikkit app, and that is official Pikkit play of the day. Marlins money line tonight, South Florida. They roll off 2 in a row. Holy cow, here come the Marlins making a charge. All right, so before we get out of here, a couple things. Let's preview a little bit of the Rocket Classic, which starts Thursday from Detroit Golf Club. And tomorrow we'll be here tomorrow afternoon to get on Tee to Green to go through the full betting guide for the final Rocket Classic at Detroit Golf Club. And a couple of things to note here. Now, this is the second to last event of the regular season before we get to the FedEx Cup playoffs. So you're going to see some names on here who haven't played here, who are first-timers, trying to get a final tune-up before we get to the FedEx Cup playoffs. And, of course, all eyes will be on Jackson Koivin, the 21-year-old getting his first PGA Tour victory last week at the 3M Open. And he's going to tee it up again this week. He jumped all the way up to 70th in the FedEx Cup standings. He's right at the cut line. So big week for him. He needs another solid week, another solid performance at the Rocket Classic to keep his playoff hopes alive as we get to playoff season. Only one more event, the Wyndham next week, and then it's FedEx Cup playoffs. So let's look at the field here. And then we'll get you some course info, and then we'll get the hell out of here. So Wyndham Clark is in the field. Goddard is in the field. You get Cam Young in the field. And Aldrich Pikkit, he's your defending champion. He's going to try to run it back. And if he does so, he'll be the first guy to do it in tournament history to go back-to-back here, defend his title. So he does have 2 top 10s so far this season. Of course, Wyndham Clark, winner of the U.S. Open at Shinnecock. And look, Clark, he's number 9 in the world right now. It seems like Wyndham Clark has turned it around. And well, look, there's Goddard won 3 times this season already, and he's played the Rocket Classic 3 times. Best result coming last year. And we do get Siwoo Kim, we get Akshay Bhatia, Jacob Bridgman, Russell Henley, J.J. Spawn, Xander Schauffele, who has 5 top 10 finishes so far this season. It's a first-timer for him at the Rocket Classic. It'll also be the last time because this is the final Rocket Classic. Some other first-timers and last-timers, Jordan Spieth, Brooks Koepka, they're making their Rocket Classic debut, also the finale. So a couple first-timers, and it'll be the last time as well. So again, Cam Young, Henley, Goddard, Clark, Spahn, Schauffele, Siwoo Kim, Ben Griffin, Ryan Gerard, Hideki Matsuyama. A loaded field here at Detroit Golf Club for the Rocket Classic. Now, this is, again, we said this is the final Rocket Classic, and they dumped $16 million into renovating this golf course. So they're going to go out with a bang here with these renovations. And we'll get more into this on Tee to Green tomorrow and give you the full betting guide for this tournament. But a couple of things to note here. They went from a par 72 to a par 70. I believe it was like 73.70 or 73.68. Now it's a par 70. The yardage is 73.28. So a couple of things to note here. The routing of this track has changed as they're going from a par 72 to a par 70 course. Some notes here. Notable changes. The hole 7 and hole 17. Hole 7 is playing at 5:05, and hole 17 is playing at about 5:37. Both par 4s. So they did change that. And also now just 2 par 5s, hole number 4 and hole number 14. And the 14th hole has the most notable design change here. It used to feature a pond in front of that green. Well, now that pond has been filled in with native grass and eliminates the only water hazard that was on the course. So no water this week, unlike last week. It was water balls all over the place. This week, no water. So that'll make a big difference. And they also revamped the bunkers and the greens. You now have 91 bunkers. That's an increase from 84. And every green restored to original Donald Ross shape. And Tyler Ray was the architect who oversaw that. A thing to note here, the square footage went from around 5,100 square feet to around 6,400 or 6,500 square feet of greens. So larger greens as well. And one thing to note, this course is pretty much flat. So no elevation changes, pretty flat course. It's ranked around like the 6th easiest course on tour out of like 50 courses. So typically it's been a bomb and gouge course. Now that doesn't mean it's going to stay like that with this renovation, which we'll get into more tomorrow on Tee to Green. But again, it typically plays in the past as one of the easier courses. Now the design changes are going to impact that a little. So we'll try to see how that's going to play for the final Rocket Classic. The 72-hole record here, Tony Finau did that in 2022. Total strokes for that tournament, 262. The 18-hole record was done, two guys did this last year in the second round. Thor Bjornsson and Jake Knapp, the 18-hole record, they went out and fired off a 61 last year in the second round. So, and again, Pikkit was your winner in a playoff against Grazerman and Chris Kirk. So he's going to try to run it back this year at the final Rocket Classic from Detroit Golf Club. So we'll get more into that on Tee to Green tomorrow afternoon. And I was going to get into some news and notes and shit, but you know what? We'll say that for another time, and we'll get the hell out of here for tonight because we're back tomorrow. So that is a wrap for today. Again, full MLB slate, and we'll go over that one more time to give you a recap on what we like tonight. So we said Pirates money line, Marlins money line, over the total in the Jays-Nats game, under the Yankees-Sox game, under Royals-Twins, under Cubs-Cards, Angels money line, the Padres, two sides here. Padres run line minus a run and a half or over the 8. Sox and A's up there in Sacramento. You can pay the tax and take the Red Sox money line. I wouldn't advise it, but do what you want. If you're feeling spicy, A's as a home dog, plus 122. That number's sailed north of that now. It's like plus 135. But the over, that part does trend to the over, so over is a good play there as well. And then Brewers in San Francisco take on the Giants. Brewers money line, slight tax there at minus 144 if you want to pay it, but under 7.5 is also seems where it's going to trend with the pitching matchup there. So that's a recap of the baseball plays of the slate tonight. We'll get you caught up on the news and the sports world tomorrow, as we go through Tee to Green tomorrow afternoon here on Off the Hook. Hey, look, if today's show gave you a reason to think differently, hope you laughed a little bit, maybe you found an edge. That's what Off the Hook Sports is all about. Love to have you along every day here for the ride, doing this thing 5 days a week. Subscribe on YouTube and follow us on X at OTH Sports Pod. Every little bit helps us to continue to grow this thing the right way. Like I said, we're building this thing 5 days a week. We're getting you 7 shows this week. And you'll be sick of me by Sunday. But it's all about having fun, talking sports, finding an edge, and helping you guys cook the books. And look, no paywalls, no VIP packages, no subscription fees, no pay-to-play picks, none of that bullshit. Just sports talk, betting insight, and a community of people just trying to get a little bit better every day. If you're not using Pikkit yet, come on, what are you doing? Get that Pikkit app. Put in code OTH. You sync your books and set up your account. Come have fun with us on Pikkit. Track your crew, your bets, line movements all in one place with Pikkit. Look, it's what powers the show. It's how we track the line movements. Come on board. Get that Pikkit app. And we're back here, like I said, tomorrow. Tee to Green preview, the Rocket Classic, Detroit Golf Club. I don't know what the hell just happened to my camera. There we go. Tee to Green preview, the Rocket Classic at Detroit Golf Club. And don't forget, our football series, 4th and Goal. That is everything college and NFL football. That series is up right now on YouTube at OTH Sports Pod. NFC West preview is up there. AFC East preview with our good buddy Dustin Sweetelson from VSiN. That's up there. NFC North preview, that is up there. And on deck this week, dropping Friday, the AFC North preview. We'll get that out. One division every week until football, dropping every Friday. So make sure you check that out. Share it with somebody who likes football, loves betting on football. Hey, whatever. It's everything football, college, NFL. College preview coming in a couple weeks. We'll tackle the offseason moves, expectations, betting angles, all that shit is on 4th and Goal. And I'm Tommy Trends, as always. My co-pilots Mookie and Nash are wondering why the hell I'm still talking. They want to eat, they want to go for a walk. So they win. And it's Off the Hook, sports talk that pays off. Remember, the books don't give refunds. Make sure you do your homework, shop the lines with Pikkit. Never stop looking for an edge. Let's cook the books. Let's cash some tickets tonight. Good luck on your bets. We're back tomorrow afternoon. Tee to Green, Rocket Classic preview from Detroit Golf Club. Good luck. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night.
No matter where it goes, you know